Hello everyone. Welcome to the PowerPoint presentation of a group project for the course DNP 704, Evidence-Based Thinking for Scholarship and Practice by my fellow peer Charity Ehim and myself Cecilia Array. The topic of this presentation is statistical significance versus clinical significance. I'll be the voice over this presentation and hope you all follow through. In this presentation, we start by defining statistical significance and clinical significance. Thereafter, we explain how statistical significance and clinical significance are individually important when looking at research, followed by examples using reference literature. And finally, we discuss how to utilize the difference between these two concepts in reviewing literature. Now, let's define these two concepts. First of all, statistical significance and clinical significance are two terms often used in research reports that sound alike but must not be used interchangeably, given their different concepts. Statistical significance refers to the claim that a result from data generated by testing or experimentation is not likely to occur randomly or by chance, or the likelihood that the difference in conversion rates between a given variation and the baseline is not due to random chance. Broadly speaking, statistical significance is assigned to a result when an event is found to be unlikely to have occurred by chance. Therefore, statistical significance is a measure of the probability of the null hypothesis being true compared to the acceptable level of uncertainty regarding the true answer. Statistical significance is based on the concept of probability, where if a p-value is less than the alpha given 0.05, researchers reject the null hypothesis, and the null hypothesis is accepted when the p-value is greater than the alpha 0.05. On the other hand, clinical significance, also known as practical significance, is essentially a subjective interpretation of research findings which measures how large the difference in treatment has had quantifiable and noticeable effects in clinical practice. Clinical significance could also be referred to as the practical importance of a treatment effect assigned to a result where a course of treatment has had genuine and quantifiable effects, meaning there must be a genuine, palpable, noticeable effect on the daily life. In essence, statistical significance means that it is likely that something is happening, while clinical significance verifies to what extent that thing is happening. Now, let's explain how statistical significance and clinical significance are important when looking at research. One could say that in statistical significance allows researchers to hold a degree of confidence that their findings are real, reliable, and not biased. In other words, that their findings observed in a study are likely real and not simply due to chance. Also, statistical significance helps scientists and other entities understand how strongly the results of an experiment, survey, or poll should influence their decision. In regards to clinical significance is a critical tool for decision makers who are dealing with high stakes pharmaceutical, psychological, and medical research. Clinical significance also reflects the impact on clinical practice. And also, each outcome is based on the standard measurement and related comparative effective sizes in clinical significance. In reviewing some articles, we came across some examples of statistical significance and clinical significance. This one article that was published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology compared survival in 569 patients with advanced pancreatic cancer who were randomized to receive elotonib plus gemcitabine versus gemcitabine alone. The median survival was found to be significantly prolonged in the combination medication elotonib and gemcitabine with 6.24 months versus 5.91 months, giving a p-value of 0.038, which meant that there was only a 3.8% chance that the observed difference occurred by chance, and therefore it was statistically significant. In regards to clinical significance, we came across an article that reviewed titled Smoking Cessation Interventions in a Preoperative Clinic. In this article, a group of current smokers were given smoking cessation interventions in a preoperative clinic. Of 94% of the smokers who received counseling and 64% who received educational materials, nearly 69% of current smokers were ready to quit smoking in 30 days or less, and 37.3% who were ready to quit accepted referral for smoking cessation counseling services. Results from this program indicate that smoking cessation intervention that include counseling and smoking cessation resources can be beneficial for patients as they prepare for surgery. In utilizing the differences between clinical significance and statistical significance in literature review, one should look to see if the authors have specified if the differences are clinically important or not. One should also take into account sample sizes, as very large sizes, even with unimportant differences, may become statistically significant. It is important to note that the larger the size, the more likely it is that the difference will be meaningful to the patients. In statistical significance must be established before pursuing clinical significance. One must consider the level of treatment effect regarded as clinical significance also depends on the severity of the disease and any potential side effects of the treatment. And lastly, one must consider that just because a treatment has shown to lead to statistical significant improvements does not mean that these improvements will be clinically significant. We've come to the end of the PowerPoint presentation, and the next two slides will carry our references. Thank you so much for your attention, and we look forward to your comments. See you soon.